Hello there, it's Christian Youngren with Kaizen Automotive Consulting, bringing you more best automotive practices. Kaizen literally means change for the better, and continuous improvement is what our company is all about. Helping ourselves, helping others, and helping companies change for the better. Now, if this is your first time to our channel, and you want to improve your automotive selling skills, you want to learn how to use psychology to close more car deals, and receive unbiased reviews on dealership product and service companies, make sure you subscribe and then turn on that bell. That way you never miss out on learning anything new. Well, all right then, let's get to work. All right, Jameson, we've got a tremendous opportunity for you here. Let me walk through it with you, and we'll go ahead and deliver a car, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so you can see over here, this is the original value of the vehicle. Original value. Now, it's right at $26,500. This isn't changed. That's not what you paid, because if you remember, we pre-discount our vehicles. And so that's the savings, incentives, and all the dealer discounts, $592. Now over here, this is your car. Fair market value for yours is $14,500. That's what we want to buy it for. That leaves us a difference here of just right at $11,400 and some change. Now up here you can see we've come up with 3 different initial cash investments, and then the corresponding monthly ownership options underneath. And then over here we've got the terms. Now we came up with these ownership options, these terms, and these initial cash investments, these two here mainly, for 4 really big reasons. Really, it's the best way to buy a car, and the reason it's the best way to buy a car is because number one, up here, it helps save your monthly payments. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Helps you save on monthly payments. Also, what it does is it helps increase your trade-in cycles because you're realizing equity so much quicker. And then finally, it helps you save money in finance charges, which nobody really has a problem with saving more money in finance charges. So take my pen, since you're in control of the numbers, and circle the one that makes the most sense, and we'll get your car all cleaned up and ready to go. I guess the only other question is, are you going to title it in your name alone, or is your wife going to go on there?
So I am going to title this in my own name. The only problem that I'm having with all this is really this trade value. I'd really like to get a little bit more for my trade. When I Kelly Blue booked it, it was actually closer to 17,
okay.
And I see that we're a little short there.
Okay. So I understand you'd like to get a little bit more for your vehicle. In fact, I mean, it's the fact that you did a little bit of homework that probably could help us a little bit. Now, there's several different publications out there, Kelly, NADA, quite a few of them out there, and they can't even agree on what the price of a car's for. Because really it comes down to really several things. So if I could, I'd like to walk through and let you know or explain to you how we arrived at the value for your vehicle.
Okay.
Okay? So I showed you how we arrived at ours, but let me show you how we arrived at the value of yours. So as I said, we really look at 3 main things. Now, to preface this, let me ask, are you familiar with the Odessa or the Mannheim Auto Auction?
No.
Okay. Well, they're 2 of the largest auto auctions in the United States of America, and we go to them sometimes in person. In fact, back in the years ago, that's all we ever did. But now a lot of times we have access to go to them online. So we go to them 2, 3, 4 times a week online, and because we have access to their auction records, we can see really what they're going for at the auction. So what we do now is we just simply take a vehicle like yours, and we go and see what we could purchase it from at the auction. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So the 3 things that we look at to make sure we're comparing the correct vehicles. The first thing is we enter in a 17-digit vehicle identification number. And what that allows us to do to be able to make sure we've got the correct year, make, model, and then trim package, the Platinum or the XLT. A lot of times that'll trip people up. So that assures that we've got the right vehicle. Now the second thing we put in is the exact miles. Because even a small fluctuation, Jameson, of 500 miles can make a difference in the value of a vehicle. Now lastly is condition. Now speaking of condition, on a scale of 1 to 10, when I asked you what you ranked your vehicle at, you said that 10 would be showroom ready, like little nubs and plastic still on the vehicle, so it's like brand new, and then 10 we said it can be complete junk. So your vehicle drove in and it's actually pretty nice. You ranked it at 8, and that's actually what our guys ranked it at as well. So after they entered all this information into the auction website, what it did was it showed us several vehicles like yours, that the value it gave us for a vehicle like yours was actually $14,000. Now, we went ahead and stepped up and did a little bit more on yours because, A, we don't have to drive all the way to an auction. We don't have to pay somebody to bring the vehicle back. We also have you sitting here wanting to purchase a vehicle from us. So we went ahead and stepped up and did a little bit more than the fair market value. Now, I know you like the vehicle. I mean, I know you love it. You said that the third row seat was going to come in real handy on those long trips when you guys head out to Arizona. You thought it'd make it a lot more comfortable, and just the fact that it's a larger vehicle was just going to give you a lot more room and just make your whole life a lot easier when you guys cart things out.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we say we just wrap this thing up and get you out of here? That way you can really start enjoying the vehicle. You can take it out to Arizona and get going on that. You want to register us in your name alone, Jameis, or are you going to put the wife on the title as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna do mine. I understand everything that you're saying on the trade. I guess I'm okay there. My biggest thing is I told you $450 for the payments.
Okay.
Is there could we get some different numbers ran maybe, or restructure this to where we could maybe get this down to $450 a month?
Well, we can definitely take another look at the payments. And you know what? If this is outside your budget and doesn't make sense for you guys, the last thing I would want you to do is do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad you want to take another look at it, because no matter what you do when you leave here today, you're going to be living here in a car. You're going to be leaving here making a payment. Now you're going to be leaving here in a car that you guys don't really like that much anymore on a payment that you do, or you're going to be leaving here in a car or a truck that you guys really like in a payment, not so crazy about. So let's just kind of look at these monthly payments again. Now, I guess the first thing I want to make sure is, how close can we come to that? We talked about 3 different initial cash investments. So how close can we come to that one?
I've got 2,000 down right now that I feel pretty comfortable with. I might be able to stretch at 25.
Okay. So we could do 25 up to, if you really had to stretch, you had to pull it all out. You went to the wife and said, hey, we got that cookie jar that you've been putting money in, but I've got a vehicle I really like. If we were able to do that, could we get closer to 3?
Nah, man, 25 is pretty much what I got.
Okay,
yeah.
Fair enough. We can work with whatever you've got. So we'll work with the 25. Now you said you were trying to be closer to, was that 450, 475,
450? Yeah.
Okay, so 450. So obviously we've added a little bit of money here, which helps us. Okay. So as a matter of fact, let's take a look at this. So for every $1,000 that a customer puts down, it typically ends up being a $20 to $25 payment decrease if you put that kind of money down. So in this case, you're actually putting an additional 5 down. So here we were at 512. Well, with you putting that additional 5 down, we'll be closer to what? Probably 502 somewhere in there. We'll just say 5 to 525. So really, it looks like we're about $75 close, right? So let's just take a look and see. I guess the question is, other than us finding the additional $75 in your budget, do you see any reason why you wouldn't take this vehicle home?
Nope, as long as we can get it down there, then I'm definitely willing to buy the vehicle.
Okay, well, great. Let's do this. So earlier, and obviously you're on a budget, and when you're budget minded, obviously you're going to look at the monthly payment. You're going to look, though, also at just all the cost of ownership, and there's actually some other costs of ownership of owning this vehicle besides just the monthly payment, and I'd like to kind of walk through and see if maybe we can find a little bit of money there. Okay. So the first thing that we want to look at on the total cost of ownership or repairs. Now, earlier when we were talking, you had said that you had spent $700 in the last 18 months on a new alternator. So if we take that 700, take that 700 and divide by 18 months, what do we come up with? About $38. It's actually probably rounds up to $39. So $39 actually a month right now that you're making payments on that vehicle. I know you don't have a payment right now per se, however, you do have repairs, and it's a 150,000 mile 10-year-old LaCrosse. So the frequency of repair versus time. So you got a vehicle, you get it brand new, obviously the frequency of repair over here is low, but as time goes on, what happens to that frequency of repair?
It's gonna keep on
going up, yeah. And so obviously the vehicle here, you got $39 that's going out today, however, it could be more tomorrow. Versus, you're looking at a new Escape over here. Now the new Escape has got that peace of mind package that we talked about, you thought was kind of neat. And if you remember, that peace of mind was made up from 3 things, okay? First, it had the full warranty, and that was for 3 years or 36,000 miles. So virtually, you're going to have no out-of-pocket expenses for repairs there. The second component was the 5-year, 60,000 mile powertrain warranty, or I like to call it kind of the meat and potatoes warranty. It doesn't cover every single thing. Like up here, it covers your windows, power windows if they break. But over here, it does cover the things that make the car run. Power windows break down, don't want it to break down, but the car still runs. Here, it covers engine, transmission, and drivetrain. Now, lastly, it also has that roadside assistance which went for that same time frame of the 5 year 60,000. And yeah, I know that it wasn't something that you guys said you had to have as a must, but I think you thought it was kind of nice. I mean, it pays to have your vehicle towed any dealership, any Ford dealership. You have a breakdown, if you have a tire that goes flat, heck, even on the way of dropping kids off to school, they'll come and put a new tire on right in your driveway. You run out of gas, they'll even come give you gas. So it's got a lot of advantages. So there's $39. However, we needed to find a little bit more money, didn't we? So we've got 75 minus the 39, so we're still about $36 close, right? So we need to find another 36. So let's just see if we can't do that. Now, there's another part of the total cost of ownership of a vehicle. One's repairs, monthly payment, but another one is the fuel. So you've got the fuel costs. Now, on this vehicle that you've been currently driving, this LaCrosse, now you said you bought it brand new. And so it's got 158,000 miles on a 10-year-old car. So let's just see how many miles. You said you drive about 15 a year, but let's just see what that comes up. So it's about 15,800 miles per year. And then if we divide that out over 12 months, you're at about 13, let's just say 1,300 miles a year. Or excuse me, a month, a year, a month. So we got the 1,300 miles a month. Now let's see what that equates to as far as fuel savings, because we know here on the Ford Escape you're going to get 24 miles per gallon, and you've been getting 20 miles per gallon. So not a huge difference, but let's just see what that really affects and if there is that much of a difference. All right, so over here we've got what, 20 miles per gallon. So let's do this. Let's figure out how many gallons you're currently using in a month. So if I take 13 and I divide it by 20 miles per gallon, which is what you're currently getting, you're actually getting, or you're using 65 gallons of gas per month. Now if we look at that on the new Escape over here, we're going to take that same 1,300, we're going to divide it by 24 miles per gallon, and that's going to give us it's like 54 gallons in a month. So let's just see what that means. So we got that there. So what are you paying for gas, Jameson?
$3.
Okay, so you're paying right now 65 times 3 is what? 195 is what you're spending on gas per month currently. Now if we take the 3 times 54, we're talking about 62. So it looks like we might be getting close here. 162. So we've got 3. So we found $33. So we found all but $3. I got to